Ladies and gentlemen of the Grateful Nation, thank you for tuning in again. This is the 46th episode of the I'm Doing Great podcast. Thank you for being here. Also, we are on the road to 50,000 subscribers by the end of the year, so please do your part and like and subscribe. Spread the word, hit the bell, ding, ding. You get notified when we put something up. Go watch the video that is posted yesterday of myself shooting guns on... I'm not on a gun range. I'm in a gun range. This is the problem when you come from Long Island. You're on the island.
You're on the island.
So everywhere else you're on.
We're going to be on Long Island next month.
Really?
Yeah, we're going to go see our family.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Okay. So today we have actually a lot of things to talk about, which is going to be fun. So I'll let you...
Kick off?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. Well, let's start with a trending story that everyone has been talking about. That 10-year-old girl in Ohio who was raped and impregnated and was seeking an abortion across state lines. This story originally went really viral because a lot of media outlets were reporting on it. And then President Biden mentioned this in his speech last Friday when he was talking about the executive order that he issued to protect abortion rights, even though you can't do anything after SCOTUS overturned Roe versus Wade. But anyway, so he mentioned the story and he made it out to be this very sad story. It's like it was politically weaponized to talk about why we need on-demand abortion in all states, because then you have this tragic story of a 10-year-old girl who's been through trauma and needs to cross state lines to seek an abortion.
That's why we need gun control whenever a school shooting happens.
Wait, what?
That's why we need gun control.
It's exactly. That's exactly right.
Political chess, yeah.
Yes, they politically weaponize it. So the problem with this story that most people on the right, of course, they noticed a big gaping hole. Well, a few gaping holes in the story. First of all, there was only one sole source. An OBGYN named Dr. Caitlin Bernard, who is an abortionist. And an abortion activist, has collaborated with multiple left-wing media outlets like Politico to talk about the need for on-demand abortion around the country.
And she's not even she's the source of the story, but she is not she's not even the performer of it.
Exactly.
She heard this story from someone else.
Well, this is what she said. She said that the 10-year-old was sent to her by a child abuse doctor.
Right.
So now in this story, you have two medical professionals who are involved. And she said that the child was sent to her at 6 weeks, 3 days pregnant.
Okay.
Apparently in Ohio, their abortion law states that after 6 weeks, you're not allowed to get any abortion, even if it's for rape or incest.
Okay.
So she was just 3 days over the limit. And so Dr. Caitlin Bernard made a big stink about this and said that she now had to send the child across state lines to Indiana to seek an abortion. And she was the only source behind this story, which anytime, doesn't matter what kind of story it is, if there's one sole source, that's a little bit fishy. You kind of ask questions. You're like, okay, is this real? You want to know, you investigate the veracity of the story, right?
Right.
And then all the media outlets picked up on it. It became this viral thing. And a lot of us were really skeptical because also huge gaping hole in every single media outlet that reported on this, every article, there was no mention of a police report or a criminal investigation.
Right.
Not even a mention of it.
Yeah.
And the left responded to that and they said, well, this is just to protect the identity of the child. And they also used the defense, well, victims and their parents sometimes don't file a report because they're scared and you're victim blaming. Okay, let's respond to both of those. First of all, let's respond to the second. We're not talking about the child or the parents filing a police report. We're talking about that doctor.
That's the child abuse doctor, right?
And the child abuse doctor.
Right.
So you have two medical professionals. It is their duty as medical professionals to report a crime whenever something like this comes into their office, right? It is their duty to file a police report. And also, to my first point, so the first defense, they say, it's to protect the identity of the child. There are police reports all the time that are filed where the name is redacted, but it's filed. Right. So we're talking about just the existence of a police report. We're not even talking about
charges or anything like that. We're talking about just reporting of it,
Just a report of it. Yeah. And there was nothing to be found. Even the Ohio Attorney General said that his office searched and found no trace of any criminal investigation for a 10-year-old child that was raped in Ohio. Now, he also admitted that it's kind of difficult to know what you're looking for because you don't know what county it's in. So anyway, there was just a lot of holes in the story.
Yeah.
And we were all really skeptical. And a lot of people were saying this is very likely false because it sounded false.
Yeah.
And then just 2 days ago, I think it was, there was an arrest made. A 27-year-old guy apparently admitted to raping this child at least twice on 2 separate occasions.
Okay.
And he was arrested and there were charges brought to him. And the charges could result in a lifetime prison sentence. And of course, the left is now like loving this because it's like, you were wrong, you're victim blaming. They're like celebrating the fact that a 10-year-old child was actually raped.
That's what I'm telling you, they have these weird rape fantasies.
They really do.
Mm-hmm.
I had people on my TikTok like talking about my daughter being raped.
Yeah.
I'm like,
it's sick.
Are you guys okay in the head? They
It's
actually
sick.
rejoice in it.
I know. It's
because they rejoice in it because it's a political weapon.
Right. Well, the right conservatives, they want the story to be false, obviously, because it's a horrible thing. They don't want it to be true that it's, some 9 or 10-year-old girl getting raped, and they want it to be false because they're saying, oh God, they're going to use this to try and push more abortion, right? Mm-hmm. The left wants it to be true because they have weird rape fantasies. And they want to also push their abortion narrative. Mm-hmm. So they're saying like, look at this particular rape case. I mean, are 9-year-olds being raped in order to get abortions rare? Yeah, it's in those less than 1% of cases for all abortions.
Yeah, 0.5%.
But if they can get a national news story like this, then look, they can put more attention, they can put more eyes on it. But also they totally, they haven't brought up the fact that the guy's an illegal immigrant. And now the new hole or possible, sort of side road on this story is what you were mentioning before, is that the mother knows who this guy is, possibly is the ex-boyfriend of this woman, and she's covering for him.
Yes.
Because there's this video that came out where a reporter from Telemundo goes to this woman's house and is saying, do you know this guy? And she's like, yeah, I know him, but what they're saying about him is false. So it sounds like she's oh, you haven't seen it?
I didn't see that one.
I posted it on our IDG. Hold on, I'll show it to you right now.
Yeah,
so that
please show me.
And then I'll put it up on the screen at the same time so you can see it. All right, hold on.
Wow.
Hold on.
Yeah, see guys, this is what I'm talking about. There's so many holes in the story. And okay, let me watch this first.
And that's the actual translation.
¿Usted es familiar de la niña? Es mi hija. La señora quien se negó a dar su nombre y quien ocultó su rostro asegura que ella
State that she has not filed charges against 27-year-old Gerson Fuentes, who is charged with rape. Per the authorities, he confessed to having vaginal contact on at least 2 occasions with the girl who recently turned 10.
Which is what you said before.
So she may have been 9 years old whenever he raped her.
Right.
Wouldn't
it be great if they covered these stories all the time?
Oh my gosh. I'm telling you, this is like, there is so much about this story that's fishy, that's weird, the timing of it. And the only thing that the left can say and that people can say online is that you hate rape victims and this is why you're the reason. Literally, people tell me you're the reason that rape victims don't come forward.
It's a very weird thing. Especially when you think about it like this. I got a lot of pushback when I said something like, why are women who are getting raped getting abortions? Isn't that killing the number one piece of evidence they have against their rapist? Right? I mean, when you think about it, I mean, obviously there can be rape kits done. DNA can be taken out and you can help identify. But I mean, that one of the key pieces of evidence that would obviously help to indict this person or actually have charges successfully brought would be the baby involved, right?
Also, speaking of charges and the police report and all that, there's a lot of information pointing to the fact that the reason why this sounded so fishy to us is because they were intentionally hiding the identity of this guy and they wouldn't bring charges forward because he was an illegal immigrant. Mm-hmm. And it completely shatters their whole narrative about open borders and wanting more immigrants and diversity in the country. And so I think what a lot of people are actually seeing, and this makes sense to me, is that the only reason that he was even caught or charged is because there was so much viral skepticism raised about this story. There was a journalist from the Daily Caller who hounded Dr. Caitlin Bernard and was trying to get answers from her. There was an independent journalist named Megan Fox.
Yeah.
unfortunate name, not that Megan Fox. She was like really trying to investigate and demanding answers from different media outlets. And I think some people in Ohio as well. And there's a lot of people saying that the reason that the charges are now brought very recently is because everyone was making such a stink about it. They were like, if this is real, where is the rapist? If this is real, where is the criminal, the monster who would rape a 9-year-old child?
Yeah.
And so a lot of people are now saying that the only reason that he is now arrested and there are charges being brought is because independent journalists and many civilians made a stink about it.
The abortionist doctor, Bernard, did she know the identity of this guy?
I don't know about that.
What about the child abuse?
Who knows? I don't know about that. I don't really know.
Who would bring her to the child abuse doctor? Would the mom bring her?
Maybe.
A 9-year-old is not going to a child abuse doctor on her own.
I know. Who knows?
Right?
So that's why I think that, and there's also, I found a local news station that reported and said that Child Services reported the abuse on June 22nd to the police.
Okay.
However, the charges weren't brought until like the 13th or 12th of July.
Right.
So, which means that the report was just sitting there, and
they also have to catch him first, right? Or like this guy wasn't fleeing, or
I don't think he was even fleeing.
Right?
I don't even think the police went after him until the viral skepticism came out.
This would make sense if the mother knows this guy.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. The mom knows the guy. A lot of people are speculating that it's her boyfriend.
Yeah, we're not like celebrating this story. We want to get to the truth of the story.
I'm upset that it's real.
Story.
It's horrible that it's real.
You don't want it to be true. Like conservatives do not want it to be true.
No, we don't want it to be true. And you know what? Like, we should be very skeptical of what the media puts in front of us. There's a lot of people who are like, when are you going to apologize? Listen, I am not going to apologize for being skeptical of the stories that mainstream media puts in front of us. And all of you who are bragging about, well, I believed it, I knew it was true. Why are you proud of the fact that you just swallow anything the media tells you? Did you hear that story when Roe versus Wade was like just overturned? The woman with the ectopic pregnancy who went to the hospital and they let her bleed out for 9 hours.
Oh, it's because the doctors were on the phones with
a lawyer for 9 hours.
Yeah,
that turned out to be patently false.
Right, exactly.
And so we should be skeptical. Like, we should be skeptical, not because we hate rape victims and because we're victim blaming and because we don't want people to come forward who've been sexually assaulted, but because we do not trust the media. This is the media's fault. You have spent the media.
The media has called Kyle Rittenhouse a white supremacist. They said that he killed 3 black people.
Yep.
Time and time again. A lot of other pundits and people online have been saying that. So do I initially believe a story as soon as I see it? No, it doesn't matter what it is. It doesn't matter who's committing it, what side it's on. I don't believe it.
Yeah, and people are like, you need to apologize to that little girl. I didn't do anything wrong to that little girl. This isn't even about the little girl. This is about the investigation of the case. Right. This is about the police report. This is about the media. Yeah. This is about the medical professionals who maybe, I don't know for sure, maybe they didn't do enough or didn't do anything to catch this guy. Because if you were a medical doctor and if a 9-year-old came in, raped and impregnated,
I think you're obligated to make a report.
You are actually obligated. You're a mandated reporter. I would not sleep until I found that monster and helped the police find him and charge him and lock him up.
Yeah.
But the left cares so much more about exploiting a story of a child being raped than they do of actually catching the monster who raped her. And this is a thing that just like really makes me upset because they don't actually care about justice. They don't actually care about catching the criminal. All they care about is whether the story can be used as political fuel for whatever their agenda is.
Yep, you're absolutely right.
So that's what happened with the 10-year-old. So, and I said this on my TikTok too. So many people, when are you going to apologize? I will never. Mike won't either. We will never apologize for questioning the media and being skeptical and raising very serious questions. And it doesn't even matter if you apologize. Matt Walsh says this all the time. You never apologize to the mob because it's never enough to them.
Yeah.
You could get on your knees and grovel.
Oh, you guys are wrong. You should apologize. It's like, no, I don't. I still believe that there are holes in the story that we don't know. So yeah, not apologizing.
Yeah, I hope that guy dies a very, very slow, painful death and rots in hell for all of eternity.
He should be. No, not even slow. Boom, get it over with, done, move on, find the next creep.
Torture.
That's how I feel.
I just want him to be tortured.
You want to hear something strange?
Stranger Things?
Yeah. Do you guys like my haircut?
Oh.
The haircut was suggested, at least this style of haircut. This is probably the shortest I've had it on the sides for a while. But it was suggested to me by Carly, because we've been watching a lot of Stranger Things and we finished it up, and then we were rewatching from seasons 2 through current. And
I want to rewatch it.
This haircut is worn by the actor. I hope I'm getting it right. Tom Właszczyk.
Is he Polish?
He's German. But he has a Polish sounding last name. But he is the guy who plays Enzo, the Russian prison guard on Stranger Things, and he also played was it the man who has the man with no name?
Man with no name
on
Game of Thrones.
Game of Thrones. I keep on saying Kingdom of Thrones, but Game of Thrones.
I was worried that he was. Spoiler alert. I was worried that he was going to die in Stranger Things, but he didn't. I was worried that they were going to kill off his character.
Yeah.
It kind of felt like it.
Yeah, I liked his character.
I liked him a lot.
His character from the start. When I saw him, I'm like, I know that guy.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I have a friend that looks a lot like him.
Really?
Especially with the Game of Thrones long hair.
Long hair.
And yeah, I have a buddy that looks exactly like him. Everyone else denies it, but
where's the place that he lives in Game of Thrones? Bravos. Yeah.
He's the I don't know what kind of, not race or whatever kind of person he is. But they're the people that say the greeting is, what is it? All men Valar Morghulis.
Valar Morghulis.
Something else is all men must die. All men must kneel, all men must die, or all men must live, all men must die. I can't remember. My brother has it tattooed on both of his arms.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's hardcore.
Nerd.
Hardcore. You know what's really funny? In Australia, we knew this girl named Haj Kaur. And she's this really sweet Indian girl. And like the first night, she was living with my friends. And the first night that she moved in with them, she ordered Mongolian beef. But instead of rice, she ordered French fries and got the Mongolian beef on top of the French fries. And it was like, an endearing way to tease her. But like, man, that's Haj Kaur.
Yeah.
So when something's really hardcore, we're like, that's not hardcore. That's Haj Kaur.
That sounds pretty good, though.
I don't know. It kind of makes me nauseous, but I would probably eat it.
Just thinking about it, yeah.
I'd
got
try
a
it.
little swirly.
I would
try
a little
it too.
swirly.
Yeah.
Oh, you know what I wanted to talk about today?
Sure.
I want to unpack this. Abortion is worse than slavery.
This is all you. So single camera. Go.
People thought, I think people think that I was just saying this to be explosive, that I was just trying to get a rise, trying to be edgy, or what's the word? I don't know.
Provocative.
Trying to be provocative. Thank you. People thought I was just trying to be provocative, but I mean this, and I'm going to unpack what I mean by this. So first of all, a very common question is, why do you feel the need to compare the two? Mm-hmm. They're both injustices. I feel the need to compare the two because our society is completely desensitized to what abortion is.
Yeah.
And our generation, especially in Gen Z, has no idea how atrocious abortion is and what a human rights issue it is. Mm-hmm. And I think it's actually really useful to say that abortion is worse than slavery because it really forces people to think. Because what's the worst human rights issue that everybody talks about? Slavery. And yes, of course, it was heinous, it was wrong, it was immoral, it was disgusting. We all know that. But once you put slavery and abortion in the same sentence, it really forces you to understand the true atrocities of abortion. I've said this many times.
Yeah.
It is the number one human rights issue that is going on in our country right now.
There was a guy who commented on that post on TikTok when I put that meme up, and a lot of people were going nuts. I forget who he responded to, but I think it was some girl that was like, as a black woman, this is horrible. I can't believe you would say something like this. And this one guy responded and he said, 60 million plus kids have been murdered since 1973 or have, been aborted since 1973. It's not a stretch to say that abortion is worse than slavery.
It is.
And I was like, wow, this guy's probably thinking about it critically.
Yeah. First, before I go into my argument, that response of girls, I'm black. I can't believe you're saying that. I'm getting tons of comments about that. This is how dumb people are. People really think that
only black people have been enslaved.
That only black people
throughout history.
Guys.
Hold on.
Literally, probably the majority of human beings on Earth today, their ancestors owned slaves.
Right.
Like slavery was so widespread and so common, especially on TikTok. I mean, these people really think they're like, you're not black, you've never experienced slavery. I'm like, babe, it doesn't matter what color your skin is, you've never experienced slavery either. And let me tell you something, even if you're black, Asian, Hispanic, I don't know, purple, whatever color you are, very likely that your ancestors somewhere down the line owned slaves. You know why?
Yeah.
Because slavery was a widespread human rights issue for many, many centuries around the world. In pretty much every era, pretty much every history and nation still is. All these people are like, I'm Black, you can't say that. I'm like, bruh, do you know about the current slavery happening right now in Africa? You want to talk about that? Or you want to cry about the slavery that happened here hundreds of years ago?
Yeah.
You want to talk about the slavery that's happening right now in China, right now in Africa? Probably not.
No.
Because you're disingenuous.
Yep.
And they're like, you need to read a history book. I'm like, it's so ironic that you say that because they actually think that the only people on planet Earth to have ever been enslaved were Black people.
It's the same people who you were saying are desensitized to the idea of abortion.
Yes. So now let me unpack why abortion is worse than slavery.
I'll be like Ben Affleck. Go, the bags are ready. They're here. Go unpack it.
Okay. So the right to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Listen to that order. The right to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. What does abortion take away? It takes away the right to life. And do you think that our founding fathers just threw those words together willy-nilly, nonchalantly, without ever thinking about them? You think the order of those words doesn't have any meaning? The right to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Those words are in that order for a very specific reason, because the right to life is the most important, the most crucial, and the primary right that we all have. That your right to life, it can't be given to you or taken away from you by the government. That is a God-given right. And it comes before liberty and the pursuit of happiness. Obviously, because if you're not alive,
liberty.
You can't have liberty. You can't have a right to the pursuit of happiness. Now, again, I can't even believe I have to say this, but I have to say this for all the dum-dums. Obviously, slavery is one of the worst things that human beings have ever done to each other.
When we look at it in the 21st century in the West,
that's true.
That. If we were in 1500s wherever, we probably wouldn't think that.
That's true.
Yeah.
And well, how am I going to say that?
Pre-enlightenment.
Pre-enlightenment. Yeah. But the thing about slavery is that you still have a right to life. You are at least alive. Okay. You are alive. Now, do you have a right to liberty and the pursuit of happiness? Very likely not.
Right.
It does kind of depend on like the slave owner, like, you know what I mean? It depends on where you're enslaved, the era that you're enslaved in, etc. Yeah. But you at least have the right to life. Yeah. You are at least alive. And something that people really, really hate to admit is that even in immense suffering, there is still meaning in life. Viktor Frankl, Man's Search for Meaning.
The Gulag Archipelago, or however you want to see it.
I mean, you have a lot of
Solzhenitsyn.
Really incredible humans. Anne Frank, you have a lot of really incredible humans who have been through immense suffering, immense dehumanization, and they've been reduced to subhumans. And yet they are still able to find meaning, and they are still able to find something in their life that allows them to transcend the suffering.
Well, let's talk about today. I still support abortion is worse than slavery. Look at the types of slavery that's going on right now, right here in this country. And you're going to say that's a really big stretch for you to call slavery. I don't know, student debt. I call that slavery.
You do? Why though? They chose it.
Yeah, exactly. And now they're a slave to paying it back, thinking that they didn't do anything wrong. They're slave to their jobs. They don't put their family before having a job.
It's like what Kanye says.
They're a slave to someone else.
Slavery by choice.
Slavery by choice. Exactly. That's maybe the term that I'll
yeah, I mean, when Kanye says that, I get it.
Well, yeah, exactly. Well, he said that Harriet Tubman never freed anybody because they went from one slave master to another, which, I mean, if you want to throw around the word nuance, even though it's kind of, I hate that word and love that word, depends on what you're talking about. That's an interesting way to look at something. So if you want to talk about modern day slavery in a philosophical sense of not necessarily having a slave master physically forcing you to do things, there are plenty of, slavery of the mind things, especially we have slavery, debt slavery is basically what I can call it. So student loans is a type of debt slavery. And also, hundreds, if not thousands of years ago, there was debt slavery, indentured servitude. You worked off to pay off the debt, which is the same now. You work off your student loans, which you probably had no business taking out to begin with. That's a form of slavery. like you always say about how the modern American woman is a slave to her boss and then blames the patriarchy while also having abortion so she can stay at that job, which the boss will then pay for because he doesn't give a shit about you or wanting to start a family, but he gives a shit. And then people are like, well, that's capitalism.
No.
Okay, well then, okay.
No.
That's not capitalism. That's just logic, right? You know, if you work at a job and the boss says, hey, listen, I don't want to lose you being able to do work. So what I'm going to do is if you happen to get pregnant, then I'm going to have to pay for, more health care. I'm going to have to pay for your maternity leave, which means I'm going to have to give you money while you're not here working to help generate an income for this company or generate profit or revenue or whatever. Instead, I'm going to go pay for you to, the $500, $600 or whatever it is to have, some procedure done that takes away your future of starting a family. And guess what? You're going to be back at work the next day.
Wow.
A benevolent slavery, I think, if anything.
Slavery by choice.
Slavery by choice,
I can see that. Yeah. So
it's pretty hyperbolic that I'm saying that is slavery, but in a way, if you think about it, it kind of is.
Yeah, well, slavery by choice.
Mm-hmm.
There are 3 other reasons why I see abortion worse than slavery. Number 1, because the number of lives lost is definitely more. Like we're talking about slavery on American soil.
Right.
The number of lives lost. I mean, we're probably almost in like how many millions of babies? We may even in the
60 plus.
Plus, it may even be more than that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? The number of lives that have been lost.
Yeah.
You have lost more lives to abortion than you have to slavery in the United States.
Mm-hmm.
Secondly, one of the reasons why abortion is even more heinous than slavery is because the person ending your life is the one person that you rely on. I can't even say this without getting emotional.
Mm-hmm.
Like the person ending your life is the one person that you are supposed to rely on and you depend on.
Mm-hmm.
And it is your soul. It is supposed to be, that person must be your greatest protector.
Yeah.
And that to me, like a mother, it's like, it's the same exact thing as if Carly would kill your daughter. I would kill my daughter.
Right.
Like what could be possibly, just like you hear those stories of like crazy women that kill their kids. It's like those go viral and people talk about it a lot because it is a special level.
Yeah.
It is a unique level of,
so answer
can't
this.
even use
People
the word,
on TikTok,
disgusting, whatever.
People on TikTok thought you were being disingenuous because that video about your grandmother's stories about hearing women drowning their babies so that they wouldn't make noise. So she's like, so it's okay to do that, but it's not okay to have an abortion. Maybe can you explain?
Yeah, I never said it was okay.
Right.
I never said it was okay. I'm just describing
harrowing
to
story.
you. I'm just describing to you the horrors and the harrowing stories of what people
did to survive.
Did to get out of communist regimes.
Right,
and
exactly.
you sit there, not you, and these people sit there and complain about being oppressed.
Right, exactly. Yeah.
So these are the stories. Those are the choices that those people think that they had to make to escape a communist regime. And people also fail to understand that if you get caught defecting, the next 7 generations of your family are tortured, imprisoned, and possibly very likely even killed.
Right.
So these are the choices that people had to make that were in front of them. So nobody ever said it was right.
Right.
But this is just, it just sets the stage and makes people realize this is what true oppression and what true suffering looks like.
Yeah.
And you want to complain because somebody didn't call you the right pronouns and you want to say that you're oppressed and you want to say that America is a terrible country and it's an unjust place to live.
Yeah. Yeah,
So-
they were conflating 2 different things.
They were conflating 2 different things. And it's as if I were like, yeah, toss your baby off the boat.
Right,
As if they're like,
yeah.
abort your baby. It's like not at all the same thing.
Right. What's number 3?
What was number 3?
I don't even know if you had.
Yes, I do have a number 3.
Go ahead.
What's so I don't want to use the word hierarchy for this, but maybe it's applicable. But like, what's the most helpless category of people? Babies and children.
Yeah.
Right. So like anytime there's some sort of disaster,
Even lump the elderly in there.
and you can lump right? I mean, women, you let off women and children from the Titanic first, but like if you're talking about the one group of people that are the most helpless, that are the most vulnerable, that's the better word. The most vulnerable, it's babies and children.
Yeah. 100%.
So atrocities committed against babies it's not to say that slavery is good or okay or just. It's obviously still bad and disgusting, but atrocities committed against innocent babies in the womb, that is much more atrocious.
But in the Bible, in Genesis or Exodus or whatever it was, the God killed all the firstborns.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Like, what are we to say that? I'm not.
It's okay for God to kill the firstborn.
I'm not going to say what it's okay for God to do or God not to do. Like
that was thrown back at us a couple of times.
I don't know what.
Like, I don't know how you want me to talk. For
I don't
God.
know. Yeah, I don't know how you want me to talk for God.
Can I just say?
Like, take that up with God.
Can I just say I have breakfast with my buddy once every so often, and it's been a couple of months since the last time I saw him, and this was a couple of days ago. We hadn't seen each other since maybe May or before I moved, and so we sat down. It's like, so a lot happened, right? Yeah. And my buddy is, I would say he's on the left, but he's very open-minded and he wants to know why you think a certain way. He's not going to instantly attack you or get offended or anything like that. That's why we have, 2-hour breakfasts. It's really, really nice. And we were just talking about it. And he said something along the lines of, it still seems like you have compassion for these women who have abortions. I say, of course I do. The ones that I don't necessarily have compassion for are the ones taking abortion pills on the Supreme Court steps, or the ones that, will wear the period pants stain thing. Like, I don't necessarily have compassion for those women. But for the women that, that have abortions, I genuinely feel for it, because there's got to be a crazy high amount of emotional trauma that these women go through, especially like physical trauma in that area, but the emotional trauma, like, I think that stays with you for a very long time. And I mean, we were talking about, can a woman, be okay with that choice years later? And I think, yeah, probably. I think that they probably think they did the right thing, but I also don't think that they're going to deny the mental trauma that they went through and probably still go through.
Right.
You know what I mean? But like, when you hear a lot of these celebrities like Michelle Williams go in front of a crowd with a statue in her hand talking about, thank God I had that abortion, the abortion allowed for my career, I don't necessarily have sympathy for those types of people. But I mean, just talking about, like, I wonder there have got to be, institutions or places where women who have had abortions who are still mentally going through it. Are there places that they go to? I mean, can they go to like pregnancy trauma centers or?
I think so. So there's this crisis pregnancy center here in Nashville I've been researching and reaching out to, and they have like, I think they offer like counseling sessions for women who have been through.
Because our main point was support systems.
Yeah.
We want support systems for everybody.
Right.
We want support systems for the women who are thinking about having one, the women who have had one and are in, a bad way. And then the women who want to keep their babies but have no support. Yeah. I mean, look at Waves. You know what I mean?
Yes.
So,
yeah.
And then a lot of the bigger issue here is we talked about, Carly had brought up, he's like, look at the amount of men who coerce their partners into having abortions too. You think it's just women that are responsible? Like,
exactly.
How many men do you think convince their partners, I don't want that?
Yeah, because they don't want to step up.
Yeah, exactly. So that's another support area that we can talk about. Honestly, if I could do it, and I think we could probably do it on a bigger scale, obviously, and depending on who we talk to, I think we can almost do like a Habitat for Humanity, but around women who want to have kids, but who aren't financially well off or have no support systems. Like, we'll build you a house. We've got $4 million in our coffers. Here's what we can give to you to help you and start you off, find a job, also find some sort of care or whatever. Just something that we can help these women and encourage motherhood. Yeah. You know what? Imagine, like, that's what the government should be doing. Encouraging families to happen, encouraging motherhood, encouraging fatherhood. Yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah, I think the private industry can do that a lot better, the charitable one.
I think it's our duty. I'm glad you brought this up, because I almost made a TikTok about this and I should still do it. If you are anti-abortion and you are disgusted by even the idea of babies being killed in the womb, like, you better be donating to organizations that help mothers and babies and families in need. And you you really should be donating your time as well. Like, it's up to us. Like, we should never rely on the government to save us. Like, I agree that the government should definitely be promoting families and doing whatever they can to promote the good and promote, mothers having children. But it is also like, we need to take responsibility for our communities and our families. And we need to step up.
You better
and
be about it.
You better be about it. You need to look around your community and say, what can I do to help these women? Because anywhere you live, there are women who need help.
Do you know how much the ASPCA raises on a yearly basis for dogs?
How much?
It's like in the hundreds of millions.
Oh my gosh.
For dogs.
Which is fine, but
the problem is, if we started this organization, it is seen as like something that is inherently a conservative and right-wing thing. Like, no, it's not. Why do people on the left, do liberals not care about mothers who want to have their children?
They don't. Look at Elizabeth Warren.
Yeah, exactly.
They don't.
Exactly. They want to take these places away.
Yeah, they really want to take them away. Their goal is not to help women.
I don't believe
their goal is to kill babies.
Yeah, I don't believe the meme of every single pregnancy crisis center is run by some Presbyterian pastor or whoever that says you're going to go to hell if you have an abortion or what. I don't believe that.
No, it's not true at all.
Like the gay conversion therapy. Like, I don't necessarily, like, I'm sure that they do exist, but I don't necessarily think that every pregnancy crisis center is something like that. But I mean, this is something that we could at least, come together as far as being on the left and as being on the right. Listen, you want to help moms who are now pregnant, who want to have their kids but may not have a support system. Let's support them as a community. Let's support them as their fellow Americans. Let's get behind them. And it's not a charity thing in the aspect of let's just throw money at them. If they don't have a place to live, let's see if we can find them a place to live.
Yeah, real support.
You know what I mean? Yeah, exactly.
Step up.
Yeah, we have nannies that work in our system that, if you need to work, if you got to work, let's go right ahead. We got these nannies that something like that could be a good idea. I don't know if anything out there like that exists, that type of charity where it's a full support system for women who want to have their kids.
We should do it. I talk to my husband all the time about the reason that we want to build wealth is not to have nice things or a nice, like, an expensive car, like designer shoes. We want to build wealth because it is the best way to reach the most people.
Yeah.
And it is the best way to help the most people.
Can we talk about helping the most people and where that is lacking as
Wait,
far as like...
I want to just to say two more things.
Okay.
And then we get to that. Just want to say one more thing about the right to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Yeah. So when you, the thing about, I'm not defending, I can't even have to say this. Obviously, we're not defending slavery, but the whole thing about at least allowing someone's right to life to exist, even if their right to liberty and the pursuit of happiness is taken away, at least there is hope and there is a chance that at some point they will get those rights back.
I can't believe you're defending slave masters.
What is slavery apologist? Is that what they're going to call me now? Gosh.
Probably.
But like, this is the thing. It's like when you take someone's right to life away, there is no hope. It's done. There's no chance for redemption. Yeah. There's no chance there's just no chance for hope. There's nothing. They're dead.
Yeah.
Also, one more point that I want to say. A few people commented on my TikTok and they were like, do you even know what slavery is? It was centuries of dehumanizing people and saying that they were subhuman.
Yeah, that's what you guys are currently doing.
Have you ever listened to abortionists and pro-abortion people? They literally say it's not a human. It's not a human. It's the pure dehumanization of babies in the womb, of human life in the womb.
It's the easiest way to like, clap back at a pro-abortion person when you say, oh, you have the same outlook on what a life is that a slave owner has,
or a eugenicist has,
or a eugenicist, and they're like, it's got to be alive first. And like, well, it is. It is.
It is the actual dehumanization of human life in the womb.
I've stopped responding to people who say it's not alive, it's a clump of cells. They're not intellectually strong enough to carry on the conversation.
Well, they have the IQ of a tampon.
IQ of tampons,
so
big time.
Let's just wrap up the abortion slavery conversation. I am intentional about comparing abortion to slavery because it helps people understand. Hopefully, helps people understand the true atrocities of abortion. So. You know what? Yeah. Was there anything else I wanted to say? No. But I'm sure that maybe Media Matters one day will start taking our clips out of context and call me a slavery apologist. Stop killing babies. Babies are precious. Help women who are pregnant and in need and need support. And pass it off to you, Mike.
And I'll also say to the right, let's not immediately fly off the handle at women who have had abortions because they probably, I'd say, a lot of the time, and this is me going a lot of the time.
A lot of the time.
But a lot of the time, they're probably in a bad way.
Well, this is why I say the abortion industry preys on vulnerable women. Like, my heart breaks just as much for most of those women.
Yeah.
Again, not the ones out there with the not a human yet still
Right,
written on their
exactly.
stomach.
Yeah.
But the women, there's so many women, millions of women who have been preyed on by the predatory abortion industry, which is propped up and funded by the federal government. And my heart breaks for these women because they don't know what an abortion is. They don't know what they're getting themselves into. And they are coerced many times and bullied into ending the life of their own child.
Yeah.
And that is traumatic, truly
Terrible.
traumatic.
It's terrible. Okay, let's talk about the Uvalde police and just what an utter, I don't even know what to say about those guys. All that, I'm not surprised. And a lot of people say, I can't believe the police didn't act on this. They didn't go in there. The number one job of police is to protect people. Wrong. The number one job of police is to enforce the law and arrest those who are breaking the law. The police have absolutely no duty or no responsibility to protect you or to save their life. So to think that every cop out there is going to be Superman and just run, there are a lot of them that do. There are a lot of them that do. We commend them for that. But those guys, they're obviously following constitutional decisions. Okay, listen. In 2005, in June, the Supreme Court ruled that police did not have a constitutional duty to protect a person from harm, even a woman who had obtained a court-issued protective order against a violent husband making an arrest mandatory for a violation. So, nobody's coming for you. Like Drew Hopkins says,
Yes.
No one's coming for you. Now, if we want to talk about, what led to those cops standing in the school for 50 minutes while that kid was murdering those poor
was
little
over an
babies.
hour.
Yeah, over an hour.
Almost an hour and a
That's
half.
something else. But to just say, like, right off the bat, I think Mike Glover from Fieldcraft was saying something like, the police have a duty to protect you. It's like, no, they don't. They really don't. They have a duty to protect themselves and to protect their lives. And I'm just saying, the good cops that are out there, they will go into burning buildings. They will go put themselves in front of people who are being attacked. But they have no duty or obligation or responsibility to do that.
So their duty is to enforce the law.
Yes,
Right.
that's all it is, and that's all I got to say about that.
Did you see the photo of the police officer, the hand sanitizer?
Yeah.
That was nuts, man.
Listen, I am no tactician, but from watching that unfold, it's a really horrible situation because anytime anyone is in a building, especially one without a bunch of windows where they can't see into it, that's tough, and not knowing what's going on. Because in those types of situations, it's also very weird too, because you never want to do what they call CQB, which is close quarter battling, or close quarter fighting. Room clearing is a big is a big topic when it comes to tactics in the military and self-defense and stuff like that. You never want to go clearing a building or clearing rooms by yourself, because if like 3 people are hiding in a room, you go one direction, you're shot by 2 other people. So normally you do that with a team of people, 2 people at minimum, 3 people, you're good. With a whole team of Green Berets, fucking badass. And if you watch videos of Green Berets clearing rooms, it's insane. But these guys had that many people in there. So what I'm thinking when I initially saw them all standing there, where the 2 people with shields, that you burst open that room, the 2 people with shields move forward quickly and they're able to, talk to each other where a person is who's firing, and the people behind the shields get out from under the shields, boom, boom. That guy's done. So compared to 19 kids being killed, and, sadly 1 or 2, when it just when they happen to, burst open to the room, that kid just starts shooting people, but that guy's done. Why didn't they do that?
Yeah.
That's the question. Why didn't they do that?
Yeah.
If it's a hostage situation, they know that there's one guy and they know that he's in one room and they know he has this many people. Why? It's like I think there was like a window that they were able to possibly get in or break in. Like, why wasn't a flashbang thrown in there?
That's what Trevor Thrasher said to
Yeah,
me,
like why wasn't anything done? Why didn't they breach that room?
Yeah.
Especially if, I've never understood that.
Yeah.
With, it seems like one of the movies where there's a hostage taker, and then there's the negotiator, and then they're back and forth for 3 or 4 hours. But apparently the parents were hearing shots go off. So it's not a hostage situation. It's an active shooter situation. Right. So I guess there was some confusion going on over there, but I think that was just horribly done. And, I'm not saying if I was there, I would have done this. If it was my daughter there, though, that's a completely different story. So, it's it sucks. It's such a horrible situation. It just shows the failure of law enforcement and, government basically letting you down when, not saying that they're supposed to protect you, but they're at least supposed to have a standard.
Yeah.
I guess.
This is why every day it becomes so much clearer that Drew Hopkins he nailed it. No one is coming to save you. Nobody is coming to save you. Nobody. And if this is not proof enough, I mean, I don't know what else could possibly happen to make you believe that. So learn how to defend yourselves, people.
Yeah.
And I blame you for my husband's new obsession with rifles.
Yeah. Hey, well, listen, it's going to happen.
It's a good thing.
What did I text you? What else are we going to talk about?
I know what you're up next. It's your turn.
Do it.
You want me to set the scene?
Oh, wait. I want to talk about
because there are two more topics.
I want to talk about something personal.
Oh, that
first? Happened. You have no idea what happened.
Oh gosh.
On the video of me saying abortion's wrong. How many people did I force to get an abortion?
Yeah. Uh-oh.
You know that camo hat that I wear? That green camo hat? It says Metalwood on it.
Uh-huh.
Metalwood is a golf clothing company. I love those guys. I think they make awesome stuff. Someone in the comments was like, hey, bro, those Metalwood dudes would hate you. Take that shit off. I don't know if he's a supporter of the show. I don't know if he's a conservative or if he's a liberal saying, I know those guys. They would fucking hate you. Take that shit off. You don't get to wear that shit.
Right.
I screenshot that comment.
Yeah.
I sent it to the dudes at Metalwood. I was like, hey, because they follow me on Instagram.
Oh, they do?
Yeah. So I sent it to them and I was like, guys, just so you know, if you do hate me. And they commented laughing, and the I don't know who it was. I'm pretty sure I have a good idea who it was, but he sent back, "Yeah, bro, we fucking hate you." And I laughed back. You know what I mean? And it's just, it didn't make me sad. It didn't make my feelings hurt. But I was just thinking about, like, imagine a dude who makes a comment about what you're wearing because the owner or the creator of what you're wearing may not agree with what you're saying. And I'm just like, listen, they're not a political company. They're a golf clothing company. They make cool shit. I like it. They run a business. If they want to say something about like, hey, we don't like people who say these types of things to wear our stuff, I'll be like, man, all right, I won't wear your stuff. Sorry. Cool. I'll go somewhere else that maybe does. But it's just like I've worn band tees before, and they'd be like, "Oh, I can't believe you're conservative. You like that band?" It's just like, yeah, I like music.
Oh my gosh, it's
just one of those things that it's for a grown man to say that to another grown man. I mean, I just wanted to be like, dude, where are you? Let's fight. Do you want to fight me?
Well, he probably lives in his mom's basement.
I don't know. Maybe he doesn't. Maybe he seems to be a stable guy, and maybe he just has. I mean, that yelled at me as some sort of like projection and some like low self-confidence on his part. But it's just, it's like, I hate that shit. What conservative is telling a liberal to, if I want, I'll wear a fucking Biden 2024 shirt. I'll probably be wearing it as a joke, but who's going to stop me from wearing what I want? They did it to Kanye. I understand. He wore that because it was power to him.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, I'm going to fuck with y'all. Mm-hmm. This is what I can do. You can't tell me
I'm
anything.
not a slave.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's like so I can't wear like possibly the heads of a company or liberal, and I can't wear their hat because I'm a conservative. It's like what do I got? Do I got only LL Bean, or like what can I wear?
Yeah. Well,
especially if they're a small business. They're not even a huge corporation.
Oh, they're not.
Yeah. So a huge corporation, I would probably not even align myself.
Like Nike.
Yeah, or something like that.
Yeah.
But like I support the small business. I like what they're... Metalwood makes dope shit. If you like to play golf, if you like to look good, wear their shit. They may not agree with me, but they don't care. Like, who cares? This is hopefully like a gleaming sort of recommendation for Metalwood. Yeah. So that's the one thing that I wanted to address today. It just happened this morning, and it's just one of those things. I'm eating breakfast, and I'm looking at TikTok going, what can I be mad about? And then I saw that, and I was like, yep, that's gonna be it. And it's hilarious because if they didn't follow me, I wouldn't have sent it to me.
Right.
But those guys follow me.
They do, yeah.
Yeah. They like stuff that I tag them in, and it's while I'm playing golf.
Why are guys
I'm not at like the
concerned about what other guys
Capitol
wear?
on January 6th, with my Metalwood hat and going like, Metalwood, we're going to go in that Capitol.
Or it's not like in your bio, like Metalwood rep or something.
Yeah, it's not even that. Like a Mike 38 conservative semi-fascist Metalwood. Like it's not what. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying I'm whatever. Even fascism, I don't know. Anyway, Let's talk about what you think I'm going to get fired up about.
Okay, well, I'll tell the story.
Tell
I'll tell the story,
please.
and then I'm going to let Mike rant because he's passionate about
let's
this.
put it on a wide cam while we do this, so that way I can like insert like cool little pictures.
Yeah,
right
and then
here.
you can also see his reaction. So there is a conservative influencer named Christian Walker. He had a
say you like him. Say you like him because you do like Christian.
Look, Christian and I, we never met in person, but we've talked online and we're friendly, and I don't have any animosity towards him.
Okay.
I mean, sure, there are some things that, some things that he does I may not like or agree with, but like I am more than willing to sit down and have a conversation with Christian. And I also think that there's a lot of stuff that he does off social media that people don't see, where he is, from what I know, he is on the ground and in the trenches and really trying to change the culture and change minds.
Okay, we'll stay in the trenches and off social media.
So
then.
I'm more tolerant of him than you are.
This goes back to like our second episode.
It does.
Yeah, this
It
is like the
does.
last time we talked about him,
Yeah.
which is great. And then Gina, what happened was I was enjoying my day yesterday, just having a good old time. And Gina says, hey, have you seen the Christian Walker viral video on whatever it was? I said, no. And Gina sends it to me. I said, I don't want to watch this. And Gina says, you should watch it. And I watched it, and I'm just all the worse for it.
I'm actually surprised you hadn't seen it.
No,
So
go ahead.
I'll set the scene. I'll explain it. So this was trending on Twitter, and it was being reported on by mainstream media outlets. This was not like this.
I'm going to put stuff here.
This wasn't a thing that happened in a vacuum and that just some conservatives are talking about. Like, mainstream outlets were reporting on this. It was like pretty much headline news. So Christian Walker was in line at a Starbucks, at a drive-thru at a Starbucks, and he happened to be behind this singer named Kalani.
Love her.
Yeah, I mean, I only know a couple of her songs.
Yeah.
The couple of songs I've heard of her, I liked, but
Yeah.
I don't really know much about her. But apparently she's gay, married to a woman,
Oh, she is?
has a kid with that woman from another dude. I don't know.
Okay.
But, she's alphabet mafia,
Right, sure.
whatever.
Sure.
So apparently Christian was behind her, and he heard her say to the barista in Starbucks, calling him an asshole.
Well, he was apparently going off on a video he was probably making.
Yeah,
right? Like that's what happened, right?
So I'll tell like what I saw first,
Okay,
and then we
go
can
ahead.
tell Kalani's side,
Right.
Because like both of them talked about this.
This is politics kind of stuff that we're getting into right now. So we're probably going to gain a bunch more followers, like a bunch more like 16 and 17-year-old conservative girls.
I want to say that it sounds like a really trivial story, but I actually think that this points to a larger cultural conversation of the fact that Christian Walker is even known by someone like Kalani.
Right.
And the fact that like in the real world, when you encounter people from the left who are celebrities, like they will make a scene, or they will say something to you or about you.
Yeah.
So Christian made a video, and he said that he could hear Kalani tell the barista in the window that
Right.
Christian's an asshole,
Right.
and that they need to be careful.
Right.
They
She
need
was
to-
at the pickup window, right?
She was at the pickup window,
and
and
Christian
he was
Walker was at the box.
something
Right,
like
okay,
that. He
yeah.
was right behind her, and she told the barista that they need to be safe.
Right.
Because Christian's apparently dangerous. And that to me was retarded. Like, I
No,
don't.
Did she say that, or she said
She
said
did.
something
Kalani
like
even-
this guy's acting crazy, yelling at a bunch of people like he's an asshole. Like,
No, she even admitted in her video, she
she
was
did?
telling the barista to stay safe.
Okay.
From Christian Walker. Why? Because he yells on social media and he makes her tummy hurt because his opinions are different. Like,
Yeah.
that to me was retarded.
Okay, go
right?
on.
So she calls him an asshole. She tells the barista to stay safe from a guy who is, has different opinions. And then Christian gets out of the car and he takes his phone and he films it and he says, "Excuse me." He says, "I have a different opinion than you. You're entitled to your opinion. I'm entitled to mine.
Right.
Get your drink and go away."
Right. Yeah.
Okay. So that goes viral.
Yeah.
And then Kalani does a response video on TikTok where she says her side is apparently she was FaceTiming with her therapist.
Right. They were having a virtual.
They're
yeah.
having a virtual talk therapy session. And she said she noticed that Christian behind her was filming
Yeah.
the Starbucks because they had all the
Right,
gay
the flags,
all the gay and trans flags in there. So she said Christian was filming it.
And if he's filming something, you could probably hear him.
I don't know, maybe. He has a loud voice.
Yeah.
He projects.
Yes. It's not even nails on a chalkboard. I don't even know how to describe that voice. You were doing a pretty good pretty good rendition of it.
Yeah, well, you do a good rendition of him too.
Yeah.
So anyway, so Kalani says that I was just trying to tell them to be safe because, you know, he was like taking photos and I don't even know why he thinks the way he does because he's a part of our community, which I hate hearing that. It's like, why? Because you're gay, you're immediately a part of this community.
Well, it makes sense given where they are. You know, like she can't wrap her head around how there's a gay conservative in that community. So it makes sense from her point of view. Like, how is he like, you know what I mean?
Right. But Kalani was pretty chill about it.
Yeah, and she handled it really well.
She handled it well. Her response video was chill. She said, I wasn't even going to comment on this, but let's talk about it.
Right.
And even when Christian walked up to the car, she was pretty chill. And you could tell that she didn't want to engage really.
Yeah. That's the thing when you get into like, you know, a road rage thing and someone cuts you off and you want to be loud and angry and aggressive at that person. And what happens when you pull up to that person at a stoplight? That person's just looking straight ahead.
Or
they don't want to interact with you.
Sometimes I smile.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, it makes them more mad. That's why on TikTok now, my new strategy is like, if they go off and start calling me, there was somebody who was like, I can't believe we're giving a platform to people who had the mental capacity of a glazed donut. So I just responded with a donut emoji.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
And it makes them more mad.
That's good. Glazed donut. That's pretty good as like your tampon IQ.
I kind of like that. I might take that.
Donut?
The mental capacity of a glazed donut. I might take that.
I like glazed
so
donuts.
Anyway, she was pretty chill about it. And I got to hand it to her. Like, you know, she could have really escalated the situation, but she was just really chill about it. And then she told her side of the story. And then that was that.
Yeah.
And it went viral. And Mike has thoughts.
I have thoughts only because like this is what you people get for like wanting this big tent bullshit. Okay. I've said it since the beginning. This dude is playing a caricature of a conservative or of a Republican. It's so fucking annoying. I can't stand it. I don't like his personality. I don't like the content that he makes. I think it's cringe. I think it's not helpful. I don't think it's useful. I think it totally brings this movement down further and further and further and sets us back. It's like, you know, the Rob Smiths of the world, or it's just like all this horrible shit where like I wanted to post a picture of Christian being like GOP 2022. And it's Christian Walker in a Givenchy sweatsuit with his legs crossed and like this, and it's like, fuck that, dude. Like, it's
because it's the gay culture.
Yeah, but it's just
problem.
not representative. I think it's clout. That's what it is. He just does everything for clout. Like, okay, you're super original, yelling inside your Range Rover at fucking gas prices in LA. Wow, super original, dude. Oh, you're getting mad at the Starbucks flags because there's, you know, they have the gay pride flags at a Starbucks that you go to regularly. Oh, really cool and edgy, my guy. Like, you don't say anything nuanced or anything intelligent. It's all the mainstream Fox News talking points like, Biden is shipping barrels of oil to China, and I'm over here sitting and seeing $7 gas prices, Biden. Dude, oh my God, you're the fucking new William F. Buckley, my guy. Like, I can't believe it. You're blowing my mind with the intelligence. I can't stand it. And the reason why I don't like it and why I get so upset is because the amount of young, impressionable people that this kid seems to be reaching. And I looked at his
he reaches a lot.
I looked at his video about him explaining what had happened with Kalani, and the people that I saw supporting him, I said, I know some of those people, they know us. And I said, that's not a good look. Because I commented, I'm like, dude, you got wrecked. Take the L. This is not a hill to die on.
He gets high engagement and a lot of followers.
Yeah, and then people were like, oh, I hope you're joking, Mike. I watched your show. I hope you're joking. We need to defend Christian. I said, fuck you. I'm not defending that type of shit. The only time I've ever gotten mad in public when it had to do with anything related to politics, and it even didn't have anything related to do with politics, it was when some guy threatened to fucking slap Adriano's camera. That's the only time I ever got hype. Like, I don't make that type of content. His content is fake outrage content. I'm telling you, it's a caricature. You just said he's not like that in real life.
I don't know. I never met him, but I don't.
No, but you said, you know, he's like out in the trenches and he's like doing real work or whatever it is.
That's what I hear that a lot. I'll say this, and I'll talk to Christian about this in person. Like, I do want to have a conversation with him because
I don't.
I know you don't, because I don't believe that bringing the gay culture into the conservative movement is useful.
It has nothing to do with being gay. A little bit.
No, it is. It's his brand. It's the gay culture.
Sure. But it's also, if he's out there yelling in the street Alex Stein, he goes out and yells in the streets in a different way, where he goes to city councils, where he goes up to AOC, calls her big, my big, thick, juicy butt Latina.
Hot tamale.
Yeah, like that's actually culturally relevant, because he's talking to the people who are involved in making choices, who represent us. You know what I mean? I don't give a shit about some mixed gay black dude sitting in his Range Rover complaining about the price of gas, or the people that work at a Starbucks might be queer.
You know what I will say about Christian, though, and I haven't listened to his podcast, so I don't know if he does this on his show, but he has such a such a big following and high engagement in his following. I hope
people want that Big Ten shit, and they want to look like they're welcoming.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm a conservative. I'm labeled as a racist and as a homophobe. Let me embrace some other races and homos.
I totally get that.
Let me do that. And listen, homos, gay people. Listen. There's some gay conservatives that I love. There are some that we know. We've had on the show. Regis. Yeah.
Amir.
But it's just like, do I open my arms to these guys because I have some boxes to check in order to seem like a good and open-minded conservative who should allow other people? No. It's because I agree with what they say. They're not just talking about taxes, they're also talking about culture, and they understand where culture is headed when, even within their own community that they don't even ascribe to belong to. Like, some of these people don't even belong to this community.
Yeah. But, I don't know. Maybe Christian does this on his show, but I do hope that he uses his platform to really educate on important issues. That's more than just the gas prices are really high and complaining about the gas prices. He does.
And listen, I know I just railed about it in my Metalwood segment where I'm talking about another grown man getting mad at another man. It's destructive. That's completely different than what I'm talking about right now. What I was talking about was just talking about what someone else wears or what they look like. I'm not doing that. I'm talking about what someone is saying and what someone who apparently is on the same side as me is saying, where I completely disagree and disavow. Mm-hmm. And it sucks. He's not here to defend himself. If he wants to make a video and, defend himself in the video, that's fine too. It only boosts our engagement. So, I mean, I don't see a future, not a positive future for this kid. I think he's going to keep on doing the same shit. And I think he's just going to keep on growing because, like I said, people.
One thing that I think Christian is really good at is that he goes on a lot of different YouTube channels of people who are not conservative, and he's more than willing to have a conversation and debate them. And I actually think that does things for the culture. I think that that's a good thing that
But because I'm sorry to interrupt, but because he just espouses the same old tropes and talking points.
Does he though?
Yes, I watched him on Hassan Piker's.
Okay, I didn't see that. Okay.
And Hassan, I would only have him on the show to talk to him, just like how we're going to do with a special guest for our 50th anniversary, just because and that guest has had back and forth with Hassan, but which we will announce the day before he comes on our social media. So
it's gonna be fun.
It's gonna be great.
It's gonna be a good one.
He didn't say anything worthy of admiration or even praise to Hassan. It wasn't even a debate. He kind of just made fun of himself. And Hassan pressed him on a couple of different issues, and he never answered it. It was just watch that debate.
I'll watch it
because he's at Hassan's house and he's just kind of talking. They're making fun of him a little bit, and he's like, "Yeah, I'm gay." Just whatever.
Mike feels strongly about it. I mean, look, there's a lot that you said that I totally get, but like I said, I'm much more, I guess, open is a word to Christian. I don't know what it is, but I would actually really like to have a conversation with him. I would. I know that you're not keen on having him on the show, but
you can do it by yourself.
Yeah, I know.
But I guess if I had any backbone, I should be on the show.
Yeah, I mean, I think you should, especially someone who is a really big figure in the conservative movement, because he is. The thing that we don't like to admit is that he, again, I've said this a few times already, he's got a huge following. A lot of people listen to him. I think it's good. A lot of people listen to
Hitler too.
I think it's a good, you can't, stop. I think it's a good thing to have a conversation with him.
Well, I remember...
And then you can press him. You can press him.
Sure, yeah, that's fine. But I also don't want to embarrass anybody. I remember back to our Bryson episode when we had Bryson on, and he was like, whatever this movement is, I don't want to be a part of it. Remember he said that?
Right, yeah.
It's like the regular...
Bryson and Shekinah told me that in person, Christian's very chill. He's not like that. Yeah, so I think there's something about Christian. I think he understands branding, and he understands how to have a voice online that a lot of people are going to listen to. Now the question is whether, you know, it's a good thing that he's putting on that character online.
I don't think
know.
so. I might be wrong. I might be wrong about the kid. Listen, I'll say that to the camera. I might be wrong about the kid, but I don't think what he's doing is a service to the conservative movement or to the conservative cause. I really don't think it is. It just makes us look like weenies. I don't even know a word.
Yeah, because you know how I don't want any part of the gay culture to be a part of the conservative movement.
Just think about figureheads. Like if you just point to figureheads, that person's a representative. I'm telling you, I think it's a caricature. Like that's a Saturday Night Live caricature of a gay conservative.
Yeah,
that's what I think that is.
I can see that. And again, I don't like the gay stuff being in the movement.
You want some questions?
No, I want to do one more segment.
Oh yes.
This one's really, and we'll throw up the picture too. You can keep it. I guess we can keep it on the wide shot. This again.
Sorry. Can't we just? Well, you can put it.
Okay, fine. You can put it back on me.
I'll put it right here.
Sure, yeah. Here. This is again going to sound like a trivial thing, and what do you care what celebrities do? But it opens up a conversation to a bigger topic that I think is really relevant. So there's an actress named Florence Pugh. She was the star of Midsummer. She was in Little Women.
She's like one of those chubby, skinny girls.
It's a great way to describe her. Yeah, it is.
Chubby, skinny girls.
Yeah.
Florence Pugh. I think she's cute.
Yeah, I think she's cute. I think she's a really good actress. I actually really enjoyed Midsummer. It's one of Regis's favorite films. He loves it. And she attended I think it was a big Valentino runway show, and she wore a really beautiful pink sheer dress. Beautiful halter. I love the color on her. I thought she actually looked really stunning. The makeup and the hair was great. But
I like this dress.
It's a win-win for men. But as you can see, her nipples are showing.
Yes.
Very clearly. And this was an intentional move, obviously. I mean, it doesn't just accidentally show up. She wasn't wearing a bra, and she wanted to make a statement of free the nipple, right? And so she posted...
So 2015.
She posted... It is. It's like old. Yeah. Like we're past that now. Come on. So she put the photos on her Instagram and said, well, technically they're covered. Ha ha. And then she just unleashed the photos. And of course, there was a lot of backlash. Actually, there wasn't a lot of backlash. There was a lot of praise and some backlash. I looked at the comments on the original photos. Yeah. They actually weren't that bad. I saw a lot of comments that said, tagged Instagram, I thought this is nudity. There are kids on this site. Yeah. Like, why is she nude? Yeah. And then there was another person who was like, man boobs, which is like, you know, not nice. But if you don't want people talking about your breasts, don't show them. Right. And then some of the comments were like, I like you, but this is really inappropriate. And someone was like, you forgot your bra, you know, comments like that. And then she, of course, had to make this huge response to it. And she did another Instagram post showing her nipples and dress again. And she wrote this really, really long post. I'm going to read some of it. Basically, she literally said at one point that she was dealing with abuse from random men on the internet, violent abuse. Maybe it wasn't violent, but let me read some
It's funny you say that one person was like, why is this on here? There are children on here. Yeah, there shouldn't be.
Yeah. Well, okay. She said, listen, I knew when I wore that incredible Valentino dress that there was no way there wouldn't be commentary on it. Okay, so she did this on purpose, right? She knew exactly what she was doing. What's been interesting to watch and witness is just how easy it is for men to totally destroy a woman's body publicly, proudly for everyone to see. Okay. Who destroyed your body? Yeah. Why? Because they commented on your breasts being bare. Thankfully, I've come to terms with the intricacies of my body that make me me. I'm happy with all the flaws that I couldn't bear to look at when I was 14. Okay, this is my big question to women who subscribe to the body positivity movement. I am all for self-love and wanting to feel confident in your own skin. I know women deal with a very different presence in society when it comes to our looks, because out of the two genders, we embody beauty. Right. It's a gift from God that we are the fairer, the gentler sex, and we embody beauty in the world. Men, you embody protection and groundedness and steadiness. That doesn't mean that women can't ever be grounded and steady and men can't ever be beautiful, but these are our primary roles, right? And so I am all for women feeling confident and feeling like you're beautiful. Why is that equated with showing your private parts to the world? Since when is self-love and self-confidence the same exact thing as exposing yourself to strangers on the internet?
Yeah.
That's what I don't understand. It's like, if anything, it just shows your insecurity and your need for attention and validation, right?
Well, it's a classic like attention seeking move to pull, right? You know, people are going to talk about it, so you do it. And I mean, as a guy, if I'm talking about modesty for a woman, obviously I would never want my wife or, you know, my daughter to go out dressed like that. But do I have a problem with a celebrity going to an award show or going to a fashion show dressed like that? Absolutely not. Listen, when it comes down to is what I've been saying, when it comes to abortion or really anything else, people are going to do what they're going to do. You can have an opinion on about it, it's fine, but I don't expect what we say to really like, you know, influence Florence Pugh. She's going to do what she's going to do.
She's going to do, and she's going to do it for the clout.
What we also want to do is to inform young ladies who do see this thing and say, like, listen, in order to feel worthy or in order to make a statement, you don't necessarily have to show yourself.
You don't have to.
Physically.
That's not the equivalent of being confident and having self-love. And there's all the comments. You know what all the comments are?
I don't.
It is so unfair that men get to show their nipples and women don't.
We've earned that right.
And all the comments are talking about equality.
Yeah.
Equality. It's all about equality. They're so upset that it's unequal, that men can show their nipples and women can't. Guys, welcome to the conversation. Equality is a false god. Men and women will never be perfectly equal. Men and women will never be the same because we are created differently. That does not mean we don't have equal rights. It doesn't mean that the government should give some rights to you and some rights to us. Right. What it does mean is that it's never equal between us. You know why? Why aren't women drafted to war?
Well,
that's
it's because,
not very
honestly,
fair.
And I'll tell you why. Okay, he went to the wide camera. I was going to do the Jordan Peterson impression. No, exactly.
It's not fair. You know what's not fair? What's not fair is that women and children are the first off of the Titanic. Mm-hmm. What's not fair is in any disaster, in any crisis, men are the ones who have to step up and they have to protect us. Right. What's not fair is that men work the vast majority of dangerous jobs. They die on the job. And you want to complain because it's not fair that you can't show your nipples? Yeah. Welcome to the conversation. Life isn't fair. Men and women are not equal. Equality is a false god. Like the more that women chase equality, you want equal. Women should be able to do exactly what men do. Then you better be fighting for women to have equal representation in jobs of sanitation, in dangerous jobs.
Better clean some shit up.
You better clean some shit up because it's not fair. Yeah. And you know what? I don't get what the big deal is. Why are you so upset about the fact that our breasts are more sacred than men's nipples? Why does that upset women so much? Why is it such a bad thing that our breasts are reserved for our husband and reserved for nourishing our babies and not meant to be exposed to the world? Why is that so upsetting to you? So if you really, really want equality, all of you fake feminists out there and the free the nipple people, if you really want equality, because you don't, then I expect you to advocate for women to have just as much representation in the military, being drafted in the war, working dangerous jobs, protecting. You don't get to be the first off the Titanic. You don't get to be protected by men if you really want equality. Mm-hmm. Again, equality is a false god.
I've never liked the term equality because we're just, how many people on the earth do you expect all of us to be equal in everything? People are like equality under the law.
Equality under the law.
Equality if you're a law-abiding citizen, equality under the law. But we're not equal.
No.
You are shorter than I am. You might be in physically better shape than I am.
I can have a baby. You can't.
Have a baby. I can't. Are we equal? No, we're not.
No, we're not.
Move on. Okay.
And cover up your nipples, please. It's really not just like...
Don't.
Don't, because it's a win-win for men. I don't know why that's some sort of I'm not going to wear a bra. I'm going to show my tits. Okay, fine. Like you're just feeding the patriarchy.
Why your breasts are so interesting to guys, and I pointed to some evolutionary reason. Well, you know, the bigger boobs, you know, the guy can say, wow, she can feed a lot of kids. Who knows what it was? I don't know what it is. I like boobs. They're kind of cool, right? Like,
are they?
I don't know.
From
a
woman's
point of view, you're probably like, what? This is like, you have this. They're just smaller and they have different purposes. Why do you guys get so excited about these? I don't know. I can't explain it. I wish I could.
It is pretty fascinating that I'm able to nourish my baby
with
my
cool?
breast. It's crazy.
Yeah, I can't.
She gets so excited too. Mm-hmm. She's like,
yeah.
She gets so excited. I'm like, it's a breast.
Yeah, it's
They
weird.
love it. and the nourishment comes out of there. And Kai, I may have some extra breast milk for you. So suckle gang.
Hashtag suckle gang.
I might save you a little bit and give you.
Let's do some
little bit
questions.
extra.
All right, let's do some questions, then we can get the hell out of here.
Okay, bye.
Um,
Do we get good questions? We
yeah,
covered a lot
I'm
today.
looking at them right now. Let's see what they say.
Okay.
Blah, 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 blah. From KGB, the _ second. Mike, do you play chess? I used to play chess, not like, like on a team or anything like that, but it was a hobby. My dad and I played chess. Yeah. Okay. Oh, here's, okay, this is from someone whose name's Sophie, but she spells it all funny, like 5OPH1E. What is something a wife can do to make her husband feel really loved?
Cook for them. Cook for them and serve them.
Yes.
Yeah, like go out of your way to do something nice for them.
Listen, at the end of the day, I would just like a hug, kiss on the cheek, and just be like, hey,
Give
I
them a
love
foot
you.
massage.
I really like, don't touch my feet. I really.
Oh, you don't like a foot massage?
I do it. I do it.
You don't like to receive it.
Yeah. I don't need it.
Really?
Yeah. It's not that my feet are gross or anything. I just don't need it.
Okay.
Yeah. But so cook, the way to a man's heart is through his stomach.
Also, like the thing, women want love and men want respect. It doesn't mean that women don't want respect and men don't want love, but primarily what drives us as men and women is that women respond a lot to love and men respond a lot to respect. And I think
and validity. Like make us feel valid for being like a guy. Like, you need help around the house. Like, honey, I have this problem. Can you help me fix it? Yeah, I'm gonna fix it.
men love that.
I'm gonna fix it, and I will fix it.
Yeah. So if you can find ways to really show respect for your husband and to let him know that you're really grateful for what he does for you and provides in your life, that's a very special thing.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Son of a Vikinger.
Son of a Vikinger.
Oh, maybe it's like you're supposed to say it fast. Kurt Cobain's death, suicide or Courtney Love?
Courtney Love.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, not even question.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why would anybody question that? I don't think. Yeah, the way that they found the shotgun.
Yeah.
It's very hard to like pull the trigger on a shotgun, especially depending on how long it. Well, I think he had like a 12 gauge or something like that. It wasn't a short barrel shotgun. That's easy. You can do that on your own. But he's left-handed. So pulling the trigger, cartridges were on one side of him. There was, was it Soaked in Bleach? Was a really good documentary about Kurt Cobain, and I think they had a private investigator who was hired by Courtney Love to look into who killed my husband. And then I think the private investigator comes out and he's like, I think she did it.
Really?
Yeah.
Courtney Love.
There's some questions that I would have liked to have done some research on, just when it comes to like the
We can save them for next time.
Yeah, we'll save them for next time. Tim Hawley, he asked the same question twice in a slightly different way. He just wanted to know what were your objections to predestination. I
don't know enough about it.
Yeah, exactly.
That's
that's what I figured.
Yeah, I'm open to learning about it, but I don't know enough about it.
This is Caribe. Are the quote woke SJW triggered unquote YouTube channels helpful for the conservative MO?
What do you mean? Like
is watching them ususeful?
Oh, like to know what the other side is doing?
Yeah.
That's a good question.
I don't know. A lot of those, I don't think so. I think a lot of that is just, outrage stuff that the right does for clicks most of the time, like Ben Shapiro owns and stuff like that. I don't know if it's necessarily helpful. There are probably some really good and interesting people on the left who have their own channels who basically do what we do that I think are probably interesting to watch, so you can get kind of into their minds. I know Breaking Points with Crystal and Sagar, like Crystal's on the left and Kyle Kuklinski's on that show. They're probably helpful to watch and understand them. Jimmy Dory, who hopefully will come on the show, he's someone that you can watch too, who I think you'd probably have more to agree about, just because about the system in general being corrupt, the whole two-party system, which I agree with. Let's see. Someone wants to know, Christopher Harvard Official, am I evil for wanting my immediate community to remain majority white?
No.
Yeah.
No.
Is a black person evil for wanting his immediate community to be majority black? I don't think so.
It's not bad at all.
I also just think it's an opinion of what you want. That's not a crime to do that. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's fine.
It's okay to be white.
It's okay. It's okay to be white. It's okay to be mixed Russian Salvadoran. It's okay to be mixed Italian and what are you again?
Korean.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Filipino, whatever.
Yeah.
You're not
okay.
Filipino, I'm just saying.
Yeah, it's okay to be a halvesy.
Isn't it crazy? I dated a Filipino girl.
Did you?
Yeah. And then there was this other girl I liked after.
Filipinos are the
who we
Mexicans of
never dated,
Asia.
Leslie. Went to the same like grammar school
Oh.
and high school. Leslie, I remember Leslie.
Hey,
Wonder what
Leslie.
she's doing right now. Intergenerational living. This is from Caribe, who we've heard from. Do children owe their parents grandchildren? Oh.
That's a good question.
I don't think you necessarily owe your parents
I don't think
anything.
so. No, I don't think you owe them grandchildren. No, I don't think you
You
do.
owe them respect.
Yeah, you need to honor your parents, but
you owe them dedication.
but not everyone on the planet is supposed to have kids. Like I really believe that. And in the Bible too, there's a lot of scripture talking about, you know, the holiness of being single and what that looks like and not having kids. And there's even a scripture, Regis talks about this all the time, when you're not occupied with like the ways of the world, like having to raise kids and raise your kids in the world, you are able to do different things for God.
One can, yep.
Right. And so not everyone needs to have kids. So you don't owe your parents grandkids just because they want grandkids.
I see this cartoon on Instagram all the time, and it's a really touching cartoon. It's about, you know, a father and a son, where the father has the baby, a young couple, and it's just the stages of the baby growing up, and then the baby has a family, and so it's the father taking care of the son, and then the son having his own family, and then as the father gets older, the son taking care of the father. So it's just like that circle. I think that's what you owe your parents. Yeah, it's so. Do you sing any lullabies to?
Yeah, there's one.
What's your favorite one?
There's one Korean one. San toki toki ya.
Yeah.
어디를 가는. It's like the rabbits hopping.
Yeah?
Yeah, she
Does
likes
like
that one.
Do you
Skidamarink.
sing her anything to sleep?
Yeah, that we sing that one.
That one?
And we sing skidamarink, gadink,
Oh, really?
gadink, skidamarink.
Adriana, do you sing
gadoo.
anything when you're kind of walking around and holding?
Not really.
No?
I sing things just with no words. Like,
Yeah. That's cute. So we have this like sleep routine that we do.
Mm-hmm.
So Carly, you know, before the baby goes to bed, she'll wash her face and she'll get the bottle ready. So I take Ro and I do what's called security. So what we do is we make sure the front door's locked, everything's locked, and we close all the blinds and stuff like that. And then while she's still washing her face and getting, because that takes 30 seconds to do.
Yeah.
But then I hold her and I rock her. I kind of help to kind of rock her and get her like in that mood. But there are a couple of songs that I've been singing that I've been playing. We have this playlist. If it's private, I don't know. If I can share it, I'll share it. I'll put it in there. But it's called the For You playlist. It's really great. There's this lullaby. Do you know who Karen O is?
No.
She's the lead singer of the AAS. Do you remember the AAS?
Yes.
Maps?
Yes.
Do you remember the song Maps?
Yeah.
There's this show on, I think it was either Hulu or Amazon. It's called Hannah. And it's based off of a movie with Eric Bana. Have you heard of this show?
So I've seen previews for the show. I saw the movie.
The theme song for the show is this awesome like little tune by Karen O, and it's like a little guitar, and it goes, "Do not sleep, my starling, sleep. My doe, she is wrapped in curtains made of snow. She will bury you inside her fur. Do not sleep. She waits for you to sleep." And it's just so nice. It's kind of dark, but it's really nice. Yeah,
I've got chills.
I love it. It's really good. And then there's this one song. All those parents who are out there, have you ever heard the artist Define Frenzy?
Yes.
She has this really cute song
Yes.
called "Dream in the Dark." It's really, really cute. It's really, really cute, and that's what I sing to her. And I like that. It's one of my favorite parts of the day.
We sing "Jesus Loves Me Too." Jesus
really?
loves me, this I know.
Because the Bible tells me so.
Because the Bible tells me so. Little ones to him belong. They are weak, but he is strong. She likes that one a lot.
Those
As
are good.
soon as we turn the sound machine on and she hears that, then she'll start to drift.
Isn't it interesting how singing to kids kind of puts them? It's like an instant kind of thing.
My
It's
daughter,
really, really
she
sweet.
really responds to music.
What did people
She
do?
also loves Andrea Bocelli.
Really?
Con
Culture.
te partiro. She likes that one. She likes the Perfect Symphony song with Ed Sheeran and Andrea Bocelli. I met
What
a
did
girl.
cave women do? Did they sing?
Probably.
There had to be, right? There's music before music.
Yeah.
We've talked about this before. I don't want to answer it. Let's see. Oh, well, this is Bummy Bamiel. What is your legitimate opinion on Israel and the U.S.? Well, my illegitimate opinion wouldn't really matter. So my legitimate opinion is I don't I don't care about I don't care about the relationship. I guess I don't. What's the amount of money being spent and the amount of weapons that we supply them with? I mean, why do we do this?
Yeah, I don't know why. I don't
To
think
anybody.
they need that
Why?
much money.
Guys, like we don't have enough representation around the world. We don't have enough military bases around the world. Now we got to like keep on arming all these countries. Imagine sending $40 billion in aid to Ukraine.
Jeez.
When you have a country of people who aren't in actual need of things, who you're driving up inflation. It's your responsibility. It's pretty much your fault. And you're just giving money away. Just giving money away. I'm going to give money to Israel to fight their own shit. I'm going to give money to Ukraine to fight their own shit. Like, we're fighting our own shit over here.
Yeah.
Yes.
Let's do 2 more and then I gotta go.
Okay. Nariksha, you've asked questions before on locals, but I don't get what this means.
Well, let's
And
try
I
to
might
decipher
stop
it.
you from asking questions.
Let's try to decipher it.
Do you eat dinner? Do you eat around the dinner table? That's the question.
No, wait, there's not more?
No. Do you eat around the dinner table? And I want to know if you're talking about like logistically or geographically, if we're sat around the dinner table, or do we spend time eating dinner with each other? I think
Okay,
maybe
I
that's
think
the
maybe that's
question.
what it is.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah,
We do.
dinner is it's my husband knows it's a really important thing for me.
Yeah.
Like we all sit. My daughter is very accustomed already to sitting in the high chair.
Yes, that's the same.
And you know, we always say like, I'm gonna eat well, tamo que sanida, and then I feed her and we're all eating.
You guys have a different view of this only because you're both carnivores, right? So you guys eat at the same time, you eat the same thing.
Right.
Carly and I will share part of the dishes. So I'll eat some of what she's eating, but I have to make
Your
the
own
meat
thing.
for my thing. So if Carly and our daughter are sitting down and eating already, I'm most likely making my stuff. So I'll get to the table a little bit later.
Right.
But yeah, we try to have breakfast together. We try to have dinner together. So
Yeah, children who grow up eating family dinners regularly, especially when the father is present, statistically, they're much more likely to have high emotional intelligence, perform well in
Right.
school, have better social skills, have more self-confidence, etc.
Yes.
Not that you
Marisha,
mean.
I take it back. If that was the
I hope.
intention of that question,
I
yes.
hope.
We don't sit on it. We don't all sit in a row on one side. Yeah. We'll do a couple more questions. This one's quick. Nick Hankins wants to know, Mike, will your kids be ginger or has your wife won the genetic war? Spoiler alert, my
Yeah,
wife
both.
has red hair.
Ginger.
So, yeah, we're both ginger.
Double ginger.
This is Grefferson. Okay, Grefferson sent me she sent me a DM and I responded to it and she made a literal response. So I said something and then she sent me a video about what I said. Like I think she sent me a meme and I said saw, like I saw it. And then she sent me this ridiculous video about the movie Saw.
I saw, yeah.
And I wasted my time on it. And I said, don't waste my time like this ever again. But this is actually a really great question. What is your favorite gas station?
Oh.
Yeah. I like the Exxon Mobil's.
I like Shell.
Oh, Shell?
I like Shell. I don't know. I like the.
Oh,
the
well, we're
logo.
here in the South and they have like 7-Eleven gas stations. That's cool.
7-Eleven. Yeah. We
Yeah.
had a brand new 7-Eleven built around our neighborhood. Close to our
Any of the
neighborhood.
gas stations that I've been to that have a Subway in it, that's pretty cool. Or the ones that have like the Tim Hortons or the Krispy Kremes in it, that's pretty cool. But just as far as ambiance, general probability of getting mugged, I like to stick to like the Exxon Mobil's.
Yeah. Yeah. My husband likes to stick to those two, Exxon and
BPs
Shell.
are sketch.
Yeah, we don't do BPs very often.
So in Tennessee, Nashville, Mapcos are sketchy as shit.
Yeah,
Like,
don't go to
around
Mapcos.
any Mapcos. Unless you got that
very
thing on you.
methy.
Yeah, they are very methy.
Very
aren't they?
methy.
Okay, let's see. Well, this is nice. Coolest ginger ever. No question. Just praying for you, your family, and your spirit. That's very nice.
That's nice.
Thank you for that. Oh, okay. Last thing that we'll end on this. Catherine Tam, where did you go on your honeymoon if you had one?
We didn't really have one. Yeah.
Yeah.
We got married during the height of COVID. So like we weren't even allowed to go to the courthouse to get
I
married.
got married at the 6'10" of COVID.
We did.
Yeah.
Yeah, we did. It had to be virtual in our kitchen.
We got married before it. We got married before COVID. So we went and we took a trip to, we traveled across the country. We went to California to start, right? Okay. So then after that, we traveled southward down through Utah, Arizona, No, we didn't go to New Mexico. We didn't. No. So on our honeymoon,
taking a shit.
Yeah, taking a shit. I watched that last night. Yeah, on our honeymoon, we flew into Portland and then we drove down. So Oregon, California. Or is Washington above California? No, Oregon's above California, right?
Oregon is right above
so
California.
we did Oregon, California, and then we stopped in Las Vegas. And then we went to Arizona where we stayed at Monument Valley. And then we went back to Portland, but we went through Utah and Idaho. So we had a fun like West
Idaho's
Coast.
great.
We spent a lot of time in Northern California, and we spent a couple days in
Beautiful.
LA. Yeah, it was a great honeymoon. We had a great time. There's a funny video of me sleeping on like those the footrest parts of the bed in a hotel. They have like a little bench. I slept on the bench.
Did you?
No, it was a joke.
Oh.
It was me making
Like
fun
Michael
of,
Scott?
That's exactly what it was. Yeah. This is a
Yeah.
video.
Jan has some space issues.
Yes,
Yeah. It's perfect. I just curl up right here.
that's exactly the video
yeah.
that I made.
Yeah. I don't think there will ever be an Office reference that I don't know.
I want to.
I watched The Office when I put my makeup on.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, we haven't put on the Office in a long time.
Like
just 'cause
I
we've been
was
watching
I was
Stranger
just
Things.
watching the episode of when Michael and Holly have sex for the first time and they accidentally leave the front door
Oh,
open.
right.
And they get robbed and then they do the auction.
Yeah.
And he has fake Bruce Springsteen tickets.
Yes, the best part about that is, that's not the one that Oscar has to ask the cleaning people if they have
To
keys.
let them in.
Right, and they're like, "How do you know that they're Spanish?" And then he just starts speaking Spanish to them. Yeah,
They can't even speak English.
right, exactly.
Yeah.
The last Office episode that we watched was the Glee episode at Gabe's house.
Great one.
Yeah.
Yeah, he cuts off the cable so they can't watch it.
Right.
Yeah, and then Dwight soothes the baby
With the pizza.
with the pizza.
I don't know how is like
Put the pizza into
how
my
is that
mouth.
camera not shaking constantly? Because the cameraman's got to be laughing the whole time, right?
Have
Like,
you?
how-
Do you follow Office bloopers on
Yeah.
Instagram?
Yeah,
I mean, like
because of you.
there were so many times where the crew just loses it.
Right.
Yeah.
I guess they got to keep a good take.
I'm gonna go to Steve Carell's general store when we're in Massachusetts next month. He has like a little general store.
Is it like shows and stuff he's been on merch, or is it just
No, it's just an
his
actual
store?
general store. He wanted to have like a general store where you can get ice cream and like
Really?
pick up some groceries.
Really?
And my friend who lives around the corner, she says that oftentimes he's there.
Oh wait, he lives there?
Yeah.
In
I
Mass?
think it's apparently.
Listen, do me a fucking favor, all right? She's an MTV girl.
Your combat boots.
Put your combat boots on.
Your combat.
Have you seen The Fighter?
I love that. I just rewatched it recently. You know, one of my favorite movies is of all time.
Yeah, The Fighter.
The Departed.
Oh,
that
The Departed.
too.
Okay, look up
Love The Departed.
What's how does she
Okay,
do?
last
how
thing,
did
then
the
we
sister
gotta
say? She's I know that fucking girl, Charlene. She's
Charlene.
an MTV girl. She thinks
She thinks she's
hot
shit because she
Yeah.
went to college.
Right, yeah, I love
Yes,
that.
I love that.
And when
the
they all
sisters
show
look
up
like-
to her house and
Yes.
she fights them. Oh, I love that
all
movie.
the sisters look like the product of incest.
Listen, wrapping up, I want to say, I think it doesn't matter if I say I think I was harsh on Christian. That stuff is already going to be out in the world. So no, I don't want to apologize for my take.
Never apologize.
No, I really hope that, how old is he?
He's young. I think Christian is a lot smarter than
Got some
people
growing
think
up
he
to
is
do.
too.
I think you need some positive testosterone individuals in your life. I think that's definitely needed. But yeah, listen, like, subscribe.
Smash that like button.
Listen, we're on the road to 50,000 followers by the end of it. By the end of the year. I want it.
We want it so bad. So help us get there, people. Share our episodes. Tell everyone how awesome we are.
50th guest.
It's gonna be
Amazing guest. It's gonna be good.
Bomb.com.
Yeah. I can't believe we even got to 50 episodes.
I can't either.
All
Can't
right,
believe
bye
it.
everybody.
Bye-bye.
You're watching the episode now.
Bye bye. Bye bye bye.
I was gonna say like it was gonna premiere at a certain time.